Okay, let's start with the first question. The first question says 3x minus 4x is equals to 0. So we're gonna say 3x squared minus 4x. Then you need to take out the common factor here. So the common factor is the one with the lowest degree, which is in our case is x. Then you're gonna open a bracket. Then you're gonna have inside, you're gonna have 3x. Then here you're gonna have minus 4. Then close the bracket. Equate the x by 0. So it's gonna be x is equals to 0, or 3x minus 4 is equals to 0. Then here it's going to remain like that. Then we're going to solve this one. We're going to take the 4 to the other side. So it's going to be, so x is going to be equals to what? To 4 over 3. If you do not understand how to take out common factors, I have a video. I'll link it up. Now we're going to solve the second question, which is this one. So it says 3x plus 10x minus 4 is equals to 0. The minute you see this, correct to 2 decimal places, just know the fact that you need to use quadratic. So let's do that. So the quadratic formula is x is equals to, you need to find your a, b, and c. So a is going to be equals to 3 in our case. Then b is going to be equals to 10. Then c is going to be equals to negative 4. Substitute a, b, and c into the equation. Then what's going to happen is you're going to use your calculator. So you're going to punch this into the calculator. When you punch it into your calculator, remember the fact that you don't have a sign that says plus or minus. So you start with the negative. So when it's negative, your answer is going to be what? X is equals to negative 3,69. Or when it's positive, x is going to be equals to 0,36. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do question 3. So it says 15x minus 4 less than 9x squared. So first thing first, we're going to take this 15x and minus 4 to the other side. So it's going to be 0 this side, then it's going to be less than, then it's going to be, then what you've done is that you need to factorize this side. So if you do not know how to factorize, I'm going to show you a trick on how to do it using the quadratic formula. So I'm going to write everything that you need to write on your question paper. Very important, guys. I'm teaching you how to cheat. Yay, very. This is extremely important. This goes to your question paper. On your question, not answer sheet, question paper. What you're doing is cheating technically, but let me show you. So you're gonna find your a. So you're gonna find your a, which is in our case is 9. Then you're gonna find your b, which is negative 15. Then you're gonna find your c, which is what? Positive 4. We're gonna substitute it into the quadratic formula, which is gonna be, when you substitute into your quadratic formula, is gonna be, then when we substitute for the negative 1, what we're gonna get is we're gonna get x. So when we substitute for the negative and the positive, we're gonna have two values, which is x is equals to 4 over 3, or x is equals to 1 over 3. Still remember, the red ones goes to the question paper or your scribble paper. So you don't have scribble paper in your exam, so this goes to your question paper, right? So what we need to do is we need to create 2 brackets basically to maneuver this, right? So when we create 3 brackets, we're gonna cross multiply. So we're gonna cross multiply here. X is the same as divided by 1, and this is 4 over 3. When we cross multiply, it's gonna be x multiplied by 3. So it's going to give you 3x is equals to 4. Then take it to the other side. Your bracket is going to be 3x minus 4 is equals to 0. So this is your first bracket. Do the same thing here. This is the same as divided by 1. So equals to 1 over 3. Cross multiply is going to give you 3x is equals to 1. Therefore, it's going to be 3x minus 1 is equals to 0. So this are your 2 brackets. So the thing that I'm going to write in black now are your 2 brackets. So you're going to basically say what? Since you took everything to the other side, so this side is going to change, and it's going to be 2 bracket, which is this one. This one is the first bracket, and this one is the second one. So no, since we have our 2 bracket, the reason why we needed to factorize is because we need to find the critical values. So to find the critical values, it's going to be, so our critical values are what? Are x is equals to 4 over 3 and x is equals to 1 over 3. So after finding the critical values, we need to draw a number line. If you change this into decimal places, this is the same as 1,33, and this is the same as 0,33. 33, right? So what happens is you go to your number line, then you're gonna plot these 2 points. The first one is 1,33, so it's gonna be somewhere here, roughly. Then you know the fact that this is your 1,33, which is the same as 4/3. Then here, your other 0,33 is somewhere here too, right? So we know that this is 0,33. Then you're going to draw dotted lines going down, indicating that's where your critical values are. Then now what you need to do is you need to find, remember, another thing that you need to remember is that here always put negative infinity, then here's going to be positive infinity. This is very important when you write your solution. It makes everything easy. So what you need to do is you need to pick a number between negative infinity till your first critical value, which is 1/3 here, right? And we need to pick a value between 1/3 till 4/3 here. Then we need to pick another value between 4/3 to positive infinity. So between negative infinity and 1/3, I picked 0. So I'm going to write the numbers that I picked. I picked 0 here. Then here, the number that I picked is 1. And here, the number that I picked is 2. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take those 3 values and substitute it back to the original formula, which is our formula is what? It's 9x squared minus 15x plus 4, right? So you're going to substitute 0, 1, and 2. So let's do that. So when you're done substituting, you're going to get for 0, it's 4. For 1, it's negative 2. And for 2, it's going to be 10. So what is really important here is actually the sign. So the first one is positive. The second one is negative. And the third one is positive. So the signs is the one that you're going to write here. So between negative infinity till positive 1/3, we know the fact that it's going to be positive. Then here it's going to be negative. Then the last one's going to be positive. So now we know the fact that our inequality, when we manipulated and took everything to one side, it was 0 is less than 9x squared minus 15x plus 4, right? So we need to check whether is this inequality positive or negative. So since our inequality is greater to the equation, see, it's greater. Do you see the fact that it's greater, meaning it's eating the equation, right? But it's less than what? Less than 0. That means the fact that this is positive because of its greater to the equation that we have. So since 0 is greater than the equation, that means the fact that we need to find on the number line where it's positive. So that means this inequality is positive. So when we go to our number line, where is it positive? It's positive here, and it's also positive here. So you'll see why you also needed the negative infinity and positive infinity, because this makes everything simple. What you need to do is your answer now is going to be from negative infinity. Open your first bracket, is going to be from negative infinity till 1/3, curvy bracket, because if it's not greater than equals to, it's just greater than, or it's going to be from 4/3, 4/3, curved bracket, till what? Till positive infinity. Then that's your full marks. So now what we're going to do is we're going to solve number 4. So what you're going to do is you're going to take both sides and square it by, you're going to square both sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to square both sides. Remember this, especially on this side. When you square, since the bracket is closing the entire 2 and the square root, your square needs to be distributed. 2 needs to be squared, and also this needs to be squared. This side is going to change to b, and this side is going to be 4x, right? Because you squared this and this. Then you're going to take everything to one side, so meaning you're going to take the 4x to the other side. So you're going to rearrange this to the standard form. Then you're going to factorize it. So when you factorize it, you can use the classic way of factorizing. I actually have a video of that, or you can use the cheating way. It's your choice. So when you factorize this is what you get. So therefore x is going to be equals to positive 5, or x is going to be equals to negative 1. Remember, the minute you see something, a question that has a square root, remember the fact that you need to verify your answer. So that's what we're going to do. Since our equation is like this, and basically it has an equation on the left hand side and the right hand side, to check whether your answer is right, we need to make sure the fact that the left hand side is equals to the right hand side, right? If they're not equal, then whatever solution that we just substituted inside is not correct. So to prove this, we're going to take x is equals to 5, and we're going to check whether is the left hand side equals to the right hand side. So we know that the left hand side is equals to what? 2. Substitute wherever you see x, you're going to substitute 5. So we find the fact that we're going to have 2 root 5, sorry. You're going to have 2 root 5, right? Then the right hand side is 2. Wherever we see x, we're going to substitute 5, so it's going to be root 5. So do you see the fact that the left hand side is equals to the right hand side? So we know that left hand side is equals to right hand side, meaning therefore x is equals to 5 is a solution, right? Then we're gonna check for x is equals to -1. So x is equals to -1. When we substitute the left hand side, we're gonna have, we see the fact that this is gonna be undefined. It's gonna say maths error in your calculator. If it's undefined, therefore what? X is not equals to -1. So your only solution is x is equals to 1. And we're done with that question. So now we were on 1.2. So the thing that you need to do is you're going to take this one and equate it by 0. And this side and equate it by 0. So let's start with this one. If we say, so when we equate it by 0, I'm going to first solve it. We're going to square root both sides. So the square root of 0 is going to be 0, and this one is going to cancel this, the square. So you're going to have, then we're going to take the y to the other side. Then you're going to leave this like this for now. Then we're going to take this, you're going to take this one, right? And we're going to equate it by 0 too. So it's going to be, so what we're going to do, same thing that we did here, we're going to square both sides. And again, the reason why we're squaring is because we want to get rid of the squared. If you're wondering why we're square rooting both sides. So this side we're going to have x minus 5, and this side it's going to be 0. Then we're going to take the 5 to the other side. Therefore, x is equals to +5. Then since we know the fact that x is +5 and we need y, because they said, so for x and y, we're going to take this 5 and substitute it here, making y equals to 15. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at question 1.3. It says given x minus 2 is equals to -4 divided by x minus 2 minus 4. It says if y is equals to x minus 2, then the first question says show that the equation can be written as y squared plus y plus 4. So what do we have? We have an equation which is, we are given this, right? And they say if y is equals to x minus 2, then they want us to show everything in terms of y. What do we see? We see the fact that we have x minus 2 and x minus 2 there. So we're going to substitute this x minus 2 by y. So let's do that. So it's going to be y is equals to, then this side, what we're going to do is we're going to make y the LCD. So when we make y the LCD, we're going to multiply this y by -4y. So it's going to be y is equals to -4 minus 4y divided by what? By y. Then we're going to, we're going to take this y to the other side. So it's going to be y multiplied by y is equals to 4y minus 4y. Right? So this is going to be y squared is equals to -4 minus 4y squared. Take everything to one side, which is we're going to have y squared plus 4 plus 4y, which is equals to 0. Rearrange it to the standard form, which is y squared plus 4y, which is equals to 0. So the second part of the question says, hence show that the equation has real and equal root. Guys, the minute you see real equal root, think about this. Think about this delta is equals to b squared minus 4ac, right? That's what you need to think about. Comment down below if you want me to do a full video about nature of roots. This is nature of roots. If you want me to do a video, comment down. Then if you guys want it, I'll do a full video explaining the concept. So the minute they talk about equal roots, it means the fact that delta needs to be equals to 0. That's what we're looking for. And real root means the fact that delta is greater than 0. So it needs to be positive. But the thing that we're looking for, in this case, we're looking for the second part, the equal part, right? So let's check whether delta is equals to 0 and whether it has equal roots. So since this is our formula to knowing whether it's 0 or it's positive, we have an equation, which is our equation is, let's find a, b, and c. Then substitute A, B, and C into this equation. We see the fact that delta is going to be equals to 0. If it's equals to 0, that means what? It has equal roots. So you're going to say, therefore, your conclusion, the equation has equal and real roots. Then we're done solving that question. That's free 2 marks, right? Then the last question says, for question 1, says calculate the maximum value of S if S is equals to 6 divided by x squared plus 2. Think all the time. I think this is a thing that you need to think about. When they're talking about maximum, normally the graph that has maximum is a quadratic formula, right? We see the fact that this is in quadratic form. X squared plus 2 is a quadratic formula. So remember this, right? Maximum value in rules of quadratic is the Q value, right? The Q value is maximum, right? Since the Q value is maximum, on this x squared plus 2, what's the Q value? The Q value is 2, right? So this is going to be our maximum. Therefore, right? Therefore, Q is equals to 2, which is our maximum. But we're not done. Since our equation is divided, has a numerator of 6. We need to take this value and divide it by 6. So our maximum for this question is going to be 6 divided by 2, which is going to be 3. So the answer is 3. So the maximum is 3. So I hope I didn't confuse you guys and that makes sense.